Oh, went so wide. It's a
Driving
Tesla.
down one of my favorite roads, enjoying myself, and out of nowhere, a crazy motorcyclist trying to pass in a blind corner. Uh-oh, this is gonna be a problem. At this point, his options are super limited. Put it in a ditch, hit the Jeep, or hit us head on. The autopilot responded well. It alerted, slowed down the vehicle, giving this guy an opportunity to put it in the ditch. At this point, the excitement was over for us, but it had just begun for
What's up,
this
baby?
guy. Now he's in a skid, still moving pretty good, with 2 telephone poles in front of him. Given the fact that this is at least a 800-pound bike with gigantic pipes, really bad terrain, you can tell that everything is riding on this. And thankfully, he was able to thread the needle and no one was injured in this event.
So that was interesting to hear from them. It really was. Honestly, he's right. I want you guys to hear this part right here.
Myself, and out of nowhere, a crazy motorcyclist trying to pass in a blind corner.
I don't think that's true. I think he was just going too fast. I think he was going too fast in the corner. Maybe he was passing. I don't know. Okay, I'll give him that. Let's say he's passing. That doesn't look like he's passing right there. Doesn't look like he's passing. So what's happening here is that he was just going too fast, though. So maybe he passed a little bit earlier, and now he's just going too fast. Okay. Bad option. Put himself in that situation. Okay, cool. What I want you to hear is this next part coming up.
This is going to be a problem. At this point, his option.
So at this point, his options. I don't like hearing that. He's right, though. I don't like hearing at this point his options are. And this is what typically motorcycle riders freaking say all the time. Is that, you know what? I had nothing I could have done. There was nothing. I was going to, like, the road just curved on me. The cars came out of nowhere. The only options I had were to layer down or go off the road or crash into the vehicle. These are the only options I had. It's like, no, you had options not to pass the Jeep in the first place. You had options to slow down before going into the turn. You knew this turn was coming up. You knew all these different things. You didn't do slow look, press, and roll. You didn't know anything about trail braking because you didn't even know what slow look, press, and roll was. The thing is, this right now is the only options you have. You had options prior to this that you could have done that would have prevented you from ever having to make these choices. Your previous choices led up to this. I don't like the idea of people blaming others because this right here happened because you put yourself in this situation. Yes, your only options are what he's going to say right now.
Options are super limited. Put it in a ditch, hit the Jeep, or hit us head on.
Those are his only 3 options. Yeah, so what do you do? And this is where I get a lot of questions. Well, what do you do in this situation? Well, don't put yourself in this situation in the first place. This right here is not what anybody teaches you. Any motorcycle school does not teach you what to do in this situation other than straighten it up and brake. And they're like, well, that's all you need to know. No, prevent it. Don't get in this situation in the first place. Know what your bike can do. Know what you can do. Know what the road is going to do. Know what you're supposed to do with good situational awareness and fundamental skills and checking your ego in place. I don't like the excuse that this is all I could have done. I do not like it. And it's frustrating. And I keep getting questions. And here's the thing. I'm answering it right now. Be smarter. It's why I developed the Smart Rider principles. Be smarter than this. Slow look, press, and roll is a basic fundamental skill. That's part of Smart Rider principles. Seeking out and recognizing hazardous situations. What kills motorcyclists all the time? Corners and intersections. This is a corner. You should have been in orange stage. You should have recognized that this is a hazardous situation. You should have modulated your speed. You should have chosen not to pass the vehicle until it was a straightaway and when it was safe. It's a double yellow for a reason. I hate the excuses. because the thing is, you shouldn't have been here in the first place.
The autopilot responded well. It alerted, slowed down the vehicle, giving this guy an opportunity to put it in the ditch.
So there you go. That's the only option you got. Hope that you're not going to hit a pole.
At this point, the excitement was over for us, but it had just begun for this guy. Now he's in a skid, still moving pretty good, with 2 telephone poles in front of him. Given the fact that this is at least an 800-pound bike with gigantic pipes, really bad terrain, you can tell that everything is riding on this. And thankfully, he was able to thread the needle and no one was injured in this event.